Hello and welcome back to the Creatively Dreaming podcast with yours truly, Luna Linz. If you're a returning guest, thank you so much for supporting. If this is your first time witnessing the Creatively Dreaming podcast, welcome. This is a safe space where we talk about creativity, we talk about mental health, and we get into a little bit of pop culture, okay? So, thank you so much for joining. Today it is November 11th, which means the date is 11/11/2025. Okay, so I'm feeling very good in today's energy. Here's my little frog dude, who's like helping me with my nerves because for some reason I'm feeling nervous filming this episode because I feel like this episode is going to be like so good and I'm just really excited. I'm really happy to be here. My energy's back a little bit. I'm coming a little bit out of a slump because I got sick, so I'm feeling good being back and like having a lot more energy being here today. So yeah, I'm feeling good energy today. This is gonna be good vibes. The main overall theme for this episode is resting is a part of leveling up, okay? A girl needs to get her beauty rest in order to feel at her prime, okay? And as an artist myself, if you are creative or not creative, or you don't think that you're a creative, listen, like, we all need to express ourselves. Like, the opposite of depression is expression. So, it's vital that you express yourself. Whether you think that you're creative or not, you need an outlet. Everybody needs an outlet. And so I just want to come here and say, girl, find yours as soon as possible. The faster that you find your creative outlet, the faster that you will figure out, like, life is worth a living. No, literally, like, find a hobby and life becomes worth living. Like, seriously. Like, just finding something that, like, sparks joy and it's just, I don't know, makes life feel a little bit lighter, a little bit more fun, and gives you a little bit of that spark of like, oh, I kind of feel like a kid again, that kind of vibe, you know? The reason why I'm talking about resting and how this is a part of leveling up is because I was just sick and because I am also on my period as well. And if you know, you gotta rest when you're on your period. You really have to listen to your body, whatever your body is telling you, and to make sure that you are taking care of yourself so that you are able to come back stronger than ever. Because I know the times that I have worked through when I was so tired and sick and all of it, and I've done too much, my body ends up, it ends up biting you in the ass in the end when you try to fight the fact that you need rest, okay? So here at the Creatively Dreaming podcast, I will encourage you to dream more, sleep more if you need to, and sometimes we all need a little nap. Sometimes we all need a little moment where we're just like cozy and having a time to chill and rest, because you think that you need to, like, the hustle culture of it all, you think that you have to be on 10 all the time and give 100% all the time, but that is how you end up depleting yourself. There's something that I've learned too, just a little tidbit is like, I think it was Whitney Cummings, I believe it was Whitney Cummings who said this, where like, you have to look at each day as if you start with 100 energy dollars. So whenever you spend that, whenever you do something, imagine you're spending that amount of energy within that. Especially if you're sick or if you're on your period, start with $50 instead. Maybe you're just like at half tank that day starting off. So you just really have to give yourself grace and honor your body and how you feel. So as I get into my notes, I'm gonna put on my glasses because a girl is blind, so I need to be able to read these. I wish you could zoom up on notes to make it like bigger, because that would be nice. That would be nice. It really would be, but whatever. So the different segments on this podcast, if you are new here, the first one is Luna Linz Lore. So I talk a little bit about what I've been going through, just little updates in my life, as well as just like, yeah, just little updates on my life because it often connects to where I am creatively. So first is Luna Lynn's lore, then it's artist update, and I talk a little bit about my creativity, and then we get into pop culture pop-up, which then I'm able to kind of tie in different themes into what's going on in the world as well, and just kind of like, it kind of starts at like a small scope of like what's going on in my life, and then we like broaden it as we go throughout the episode. So let's get into Luna Lynn's lore. And I often say my creativity is like my lifestyle, so Luna Lynn's lore often ends up fading into artist way a little bit because who I am has a lot to do with my creativity. But, you know, I am reading The Artist Way, not sponsored. Wish I was. Hey, Artist Way, sponsor your girl. But seriously, like, this has helped me so much in just the fact of doing morning pages. And I like journaling, but my preferred method of journaling is voice memos. So I often will talk to myself in my voice memos. And yesterday I did that when I woke up, and I just was like looking out my window, looking at all the trees outside, and just having a real moment with myself and just giving myself time to be like, to wake up, because again, I've been sick, I'm on my period. A girl needs to take a little bit more extra time to wake up in the morning. So I was just looking outside, and you know, I was like, I haven't really been active in a while, and I haven't really been outside in a while. So I was like, let me just go on a little hike. So that's what I was planning to do. And it gives you like, I don't know, I think I watched a cycle syncing video that was about like being on your period and everything, but this can apply to anybody. Like, if you're just in a lull in your life, like, sometimes you can't do a full-blown workout. Sometimes that is meant for a different phase of your life, and especially if you're on your period, sometimes you just need a light little workout, and sometimes you just need to go on a little walk. So that's what I ended up doing, and I thought that was a great suggestion from this YouTuber. I'll link that video below because that was really helpful to me. And so yeah, that's what I did. I went on a walk, and I brought my sketchbook with me so that I was able to journal while I was out there. And even though it was cold, I bundled up, and by the end of it, I was shedding off layers. So it's like, as you start walking, it's all good, and it all ends up kind of being worth it. Even though you're like kind of struggling to do it at first, sometimes it's important to at least get out there and just try. Like, I got some big leaves while I was out there. Like, it was a fun, cute little moment with myself. And yeah, I loved going on a cute little nature walk, and it was right before work. Like, I just took like an hour of my time to do it, like if that, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was on this trail called the Land of Promise Trail, and this was like where I took my sketchbook and I just wrote down a few things. I drew a little bit, but I mostly wrote things just of like about my journey. And you know, the Land of Promise Trail just is very significant to me, like this specific trail that I've gone down, because the first time I went down it, I was at a very, very different point in my life, but I was at like a turning point in my life, a very canon event, if you will, where I was like, things are about to change for me. I often talk about it, but I was like just about to get out of a relationship and then kind of start my self-discovery journey, and like realize like what I really want in my life and what really matters to me. And so I just like, the first time I went down there, I walked down there, sat on a rock, and I journaled, and I looked at the river, and it was really gorgeous. And there were several other times that I have gone down this trail, and it's just always been, I've only really done it alone. I've gone down this trail a few times with my dad as well, but you know, I walk along the road, the only road that I have ever known. Anyways, but no, seriously. Shout out Green Day. But like, it feels like such like a peaceful time. Like, I don't know, when I went the other day, I was just like looking at the sign that literally says Land of Promise Trail, and I'm just like, this is just such a moment for me. and I was listening to Mac DeMarco, just something kind of chill to chill my nervous system, because a lot of times I listen to a lot of like dance music and stuff that is very upbeat and, you know, poppy, but like sometimes, especially as the weather is coming to like be colder, it's darker outside for longer, it's like sometimes you just need some chilled playlists. And in Pop Culture Pop Up, I will give you guys some good recommendations as well, so look out for that at the end of this podcast. But seriously, like, just you sometimes just need that time. And I wrote down also, it was a chilly day in November, the sun dances. Ooh, this was a little poetry moment. I wrote down, I said, the sun dances through the leaves of the tree like light through stained glass. Glowing leaves, they were like glowing. You know how like the sun will come through the leaves and they're like glowing. So it almost like reminded me of stained glass, the way that it would glow like that. And the warmth of the sun keeping me afloat, because it was seriously so cold, and I was like, I don't really know if I want to be out here, but the warmth of the sun kind of kept me going. And there was like this perfect bench at the top of the hill to rest for a little bit, and then I was on my merry way back, and guess what, I got lost, and then I ended up in a field. It wasn't a big deal because like I saw buildings, like I knew where I was, but I also just took the wrong trail somehow. I don't know how it happened, girl. I'm very directionally challenged. So somehow I made it back. But anyways, I love going on hikes by myself. And I know as a woman that is like dangerous or whatever, but like it's just my favorite thing. It's just like so peaceful. And honestly, if I die in the woods, like I'll die happy. And you know, I shouldn't say that. But it's just the facts. Like, if that's how I go, at least I'm like in nature and I was doing something that I loved. Like, you can't like let the fear of bullshit keep you back from like living your goddamn life. But you can always come with precautions, like bring a knife, bring some pepper spray, girl, like, and do it, because you only live once and you gotta, you know, live it up while you're here. So yeah, that was my little hike that I went on yesterday to kind of get me out of my slump, and I think it's really helped me. Today I didn't have work. Yesterday I did, so I think going on a hike really helped me just like, I don't know, be outside, do something for myself that wasn't, you know, just going out to work or whatever. And then I don't know, I guess that was my version of like my artist date, because with this artist way, you're supposed to do morning pages every morning and then go on an artist date each week. So I guess that was part of mine. I feel like I take myself on little dates all the time, like all the time. I always get food by myself and I eat in my car and I like listen to my podcast, and it's my favorite time of the day. Honestly, like, my favorite part of work is the lunch breaks. Like, what can I say? Trisha Paytas has talked about how, like, her, life is just, like, one big lunch break in a way. And that's so real. Like, that's honestly the way to fucking live. Like, I'm obsessed. But she's on Broadway and doing crazy shit, but like it's just crazy. Anyways, let me not get too much into pop culture pop up before we finish Luna Lynn's lore, okay? It's like kind of chilly in my room, but I'm also like kind of enjoying it. What I did before this podcast too, to let out some of my nerves, was like danced around a little bit. I kind of want to make that a ritual, like to have a little ritual before my podcast, so that I like have a little bit more energy before I film. And it also just like makes me feel a little bit more like loose and free. And because like sitting down for so long, like you just have like so much pent up energy sometimes. So love a good dancing moment any time of the day, honestly. Like I want to get back into just like dancing being a part of like my lifestyle. Like it honestly is my favorite time of the day as well. Lunch breaks, dance breaks, you know, all of the breaks. We love a break. Getting back to the subject of how rest gives you like more rejuvenation and is a good way of leveling up in your life. Speaking of you needing a break, something that I was realizing when I was talking my voice memos, and a realization that I came to, is that, you know, even if you aren't at your peak performance in your life, if this era of your life is not where you are like peak, like creating all of the things and doing all of the things, sometimes you're at your peak rest, and that's what your body needs. And those little things of like taking time to like rest and like take care of your body and do the little things to make sure that you are good as a human fucking being, because like a lot of the times, like the capitalist mindset of like feeling like you have to be a goddamn robot. Hey, guess what? We're not a robot. Sometimes, occasionally in my life, I have operated like one in order for things to get done. And sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, you know, in those moments. But I will say, like, you need a balance to this shit. You need rest. It's absolutely critical that you rest and have that rejuvenation in order to come back at your peak performance. So, even though, like, because we can beat ourselves up so much for just like taking a moment to motherfucking breathe, to go on a walk in the woods. Because on the way down, when I was walking, I was kind of thinking to myself, like, you know, I should be doing this. I should be editing this. I should be making this art piece. I could be, you know, figuring out my budget for the year. Like, I don't fucking know. Like, doing my taxes. Girl, I don't know. Like, I could be doing so many other things, but here I am walking in the woods. And it's like, yeah. Yeah, I am. Like, despite everything that I have to do or whatever, like, I'm walking in the woods and I'm taking this moment to be off my phone, listen to Mac DeMarco, and just fucking look at some goddamn trees and take a moment to reflect. And because guess what? Like, things that I wrote and drew in this sketchbook on that journey, just having that moment to see the world and live and exist will give you fuel and information for your creativity. And this is why being at your peak rest is just as important as being at your peak performance point in your life. Because think about it. Like, think of how a cat will completely relax. You know, when it's tired, girl, there's not a muscle being lifted. When that cat is sleeping, like, she's sleeping. She's dead to the world, honestly, when she's asleep. Like, a cat does not have 1 ounce of a muscle being lifted when they are resting. But when they are running, when they are going after prey, when they're playing, doing whatever, they are able to completely use all of the force and all of the might that they have. So take a lesson from that. Take a lesson from nature. Nature takes time to rest. The leaves of the tree have to fall in order for it to survive. If those leaves don't fall, it would just end up dying. So you need to shed some leaves. You need to take some time to rest. You need to take some time to just fucking be. So that in order for you to be at peak performance, right? I'm honestly going to read this part of my notes word for word just so we can kind of break it down, because this was another part of the realization when it came to like needing that rest in order to perform very well. The more and more you get to the next level in life, the more and more you realize you have way more to learn. The more you realize this, the more you will realize you are actually exactly where you were supposed to be. And you will appreciate the beginning stages of your art business or whatever you were pursuing. And so much more. I typed this out. So, reading that out loud, the amount of times that I said realize was actually insane. But also, kind of everything. Like, let me break this down a little bit, okay? So, as we know, as you level up, this is kind of what I'm saying. For example, you get to college, you realize you have more to learn. You start a new job, you have a lot more to learn. You freaking, I don't know, get into a relationship, you realize that you have a lot more to learn within relationships. So this is what I mean. Once you level up in life, you always realize that you have more to learn. And so it makes you feel like you're behind, always. And if you don't realize that this is just a part of life. You will always have shit to learn, and it'll always feel like you have to do something or be somewhere or whatever. The more you realize that that is just a part of life, the more you realize that, like, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Like, just take in the present moment for what it is. The less you will feel like you were behind. The less you will feel like, oh, I'm supposed to be doing this, that, and the motherfucking third. And the less you will have anxiety. Does that make sense? I hope that that makes sense. I think it makes sense. This is a realization that I had that, like, it connected in my brain. I hope it connects in yours. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Just coming to realize that, like, life is a forever evolving state, and accepting that. The faster you accept that, it's okay. Wherever you are at, it is okay. If, I don't know, like, if you feel behind in a certain point in life, that's okay. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. You will learn the steps to get to where you're next supposed to go. And because a lot of times, as a girl who has anxiety, I will often overthink, I will often ruminate about things, I will often, like, do these certain things, have these certain patterns. And it'll be difficult for me to let go and to just accept where the fuck I am. And so it'll end up actually, like, getting into that mind state of, like, oh, I'm supposed to be doing this, that, and the motherfucking third. I then realize that that holds me back so much more. Being in that state, like, when you overthink, like, that's the fucking kicker of it all. That's what fucking is so annoying, is that the things that you were anxious about, like, overthinking them, then it it then holds you back. And because you're just, like, it's like I personally, I have things that I will think 5 times over before I actually do them. 100 times over before I actually do the goddamn thing. And at a certain point, use the Mel Robbins rule of, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do the goddamn thing, okay? Get up. Go grab your computer and start researching or doing whatever you gotta do, right? So, I know that that was, like, kind of a roundabout way of just saying, like, life is a process and life is a forever moving, evolving thing, but that was just a way of framing it that made sense to me, in the sense of, like, listen, once you get to the, like, it was just a way of saying that, like, you have actually grown so much, you just may have not realized it because you're so focused on the next thing that you have to do. That's generally what I'm trying to say, and I hope that you understand and take that for what it is. So now we're gonna get into artist update. Speaking of taking time to rest and all of these good things, I know personally for my art, I like to make art that I infuse good energy into, or I infuse, like, my creative self into. Maybe it's not always positivity, but at least I am coming from a place of, like, passion and inspiration. Even if it is, like, something that is so guttural and hurts so bad, at least I am expressing it in a healthy way. And so when you take time to rest, you're able to do that so much better. I really want to talk about the butterfly effect as well, and how real it is, and just to kind of tell you that, like, every little thing that you do is so important and does make an impact in this world. So you saying that, like, the art that you want to make, the music that you want to make, the thing that you want to write, or if you're not even in the arts, maybe the engineering thing that you're doing, whatever the fuck you are pursuing, every little step counts. Every little step matters, okay? It might feel insignificant for you to be reading a book on a Sunday afternoon, right? But whatever you learn from that will help contribute to whatever you're creating. I know for me, like, I went to art school for general fine arts and painting. So I feel like whenever I do something that isn't painting related, I feel like I'm almost failing in a way for some reason. And I don't know if any other artists feel this way too, where it's like, oh, okay, so like I went to pursue this one thing and now I'm doing this other thing, and I don't really know if like that's what I really should be doing, but it's like it feels right, and so that's why I just go towards it. Like I'm a girl who follows her intuition, so here I am making a podcast, doing YouTube editing, as well as like pursuing on like doing makeup as well and dancing, and all of these different themes and elements of creativity, like for me, is important. Like whatever you can do to learn, that's what fucking matters. Like it doesn't really matter if you're not like rigidly like pursuing one thing. If that's your thing, if that's your goal, if you really are like hyper fixated on one thing and that's like what you really love to do, then do that. And you know what, I really do fucking love painting, and I do hyper fixate on that. I am surrounded my room by things that I've created. I didn't create this painting, by the way. My best friend Ava created this painting, and like I didn't create all of this art. Just a freaking disclaimer, but I created some things here, but like that I didn't create, even though it's like very my vibe. Anyways, but like, where was I? Oh yeah, so like sometimes I can kind of feel like a failure like when I'm not like painting something, but it's like no, like all of these other elements that I'm working on can contribute to my art practice. So if anything, like it builds and it adds to it, because other people can look at it as if it's like detracting time from other parts of what you're creating, and like I have felt that way, because technically yes it does, but at the same time it informs what I create. It allows me to take a little bit more of a step back and a more conceptual and like intellectual approach to my painting, because sometimes when I'm just painting it's like I'm not thinking. Like it's a very natural like process, where doing this podcast and having some time to journal and to research and to do certain things, it's helping me to inform my art and to be able to like come from a place of like, yeah, I really feel grounded and I really feel like passionate about this thing and I really actually want to pursue this, and it actually feels like really aligned with who I am, and that's what it's all about. But back to the point of the butterfly effect, because I don't know how we got here, but this is the artist update, so we're talking about whatever art related things here. But yeah, it's just like you gotta believe in yourself and you gotta believe in what you're pursuing, because imagine if you were to just like drop the makeup brush or drop the book or drop the little things that you're working on. It's like that was the thing that was going to carry you to the next thing, but because in your mind you like for some reason thought that it wasn't worthy, you dropped it and you let it slide, and then you stopped pursuing it, and you figured that that was like not worth your time, when in reality it could have taken you to the next step. Taking a breath, taking a breather, sitting back and reading a book, it genuinely could have changed the whole trajectory of your entire art career, of your entire career in general. Believe in that, okay? Like in this game of life, you gotta believe in yourself 100,000, a million% in order for your dreams to come true, because guess what? They will. You believe it, they will, okay? And you genuinely have to believe in that to pursue it, for it to come into fruition, babe, because it will. And so just believe in yourself, okay? All right. I've kind of mentioned this already, but for example, in my own art practice, like I have a bigger picture idea of like what the empire I want to make as an artist, as Luna Lins. Like I have an abstract idea in my head of what I want to make, and a lot of the times when I've looked at that in the past, it's intimidated me, it's made me scared, or I've been like it's just intimidating, because it's like, how the fuck am I gonna make that from where I am now? But that's the thing, it's like you gotta look at it in different chunks and look at it as like any art piece that you make or any music piece that you make, it's like you start with one element at a time, one step at a time, right? And you start carving out that idea. Think of it as a sculpture, right? You carve out this part of it, and then you start to like mold the thing, and then you start to get into the nitty-gritty of all the details as after you've done the thing, and then it comes into fruition. So you can use like a little example of pursuing one art piece and how you start to mold the thing and do that as like an example for your entire art career, because you just really gotta like look at it as different elements and just know that like whatever you're doing is important. And it's just really part of belief. Like when it comes to creation and art, what it comes down to is audacity. You gotta have the audacity to do what you gotta do. Okay, I'm so serious. Like, this is the thing that really will take it home for you, alright? Because creating anything, like, you're looking at a blank fucking piece of paper. You're looking at a freaking, like, square cube of clay, and you're like, I'm gonna create something out of this. Just looking at an instrument that isn't being played yet, or whatever the case may be. But, like, it starts with that. And as you create something, like, it just comes from belief. You really have to have the audacity to fucking believe in yourself that the thing will happen. Dare to say the thing. Dare to do the thing. Dare to be the thing, okay? Dare to wear the thing, alright? Like, whatever the fuck you want to do, dare to do it, okay? And honestly, I love The Dare. Speaking of The Dare, I love the artist so much. I've been like listening to his discography so much. His Boiler Room set with Charlie too. But seriously, like, the reason why he called himself The Dare is because like that's kind of what I guess gave him inspiration to create, is just to be like, well, I'm gonna dare to fucking do this shit. And in his name, it kind of gives him the audacity to make the music. It gave him the fucking audacity to do it and to pursue it and to be himself in the public eye, you know, and to make the things that he wanted to do and to work with the people that he wanted to work with and all of these things, right? You know, everything's so connected. But yeah, dare to do the thing, dare to wear the thing, dare to be the thing, and you will become everything that you've ever hoped and desired, okay? Another point I made within my voice memos that I wanted to talk about before we get into Pop Culture Pop-Up, because we are getting very close to Pop Culture Pop-Up. Make sure all the business decisions that you are making are coming from a full body knowing. It can be a fun thing to follow an aesthetic, but make sure the heart and the soul of it is still very much there, okay? This was very important for me because it was like, this is why it's really important to rest and to take your time to reflect on what you're doing before you pursue the thing that you're about to pursue. Okay? Because when you take a step back, when you take time to rest, you're able to reflect and look at like, okay, maybe I don't want to go with this business venture because maybe it's not the best to the earth. Maybe it's not as sustainable as I would like it to be. How can I make something that's more sustainable? Like, how can I approach this business idea from a different angle or light? So that's just something that like I've personally benefited from being able to rest and take my time, is that like, even though like, yes, in my brain I'm like, I should be at this place where I want to fucking be, I should have the website, I should have all of these things done already. Girl, you don't, and that's okay. You are where you are for a reason, okay? And those things will happen, okay? And so just comes back to believing in yourself, girl. It'll be okay. Like, you'll make the website, you'll put out the things that you want to do, you'll make the things, and you'll do all of the things. Like, trust. You just gotta trust and believe that the shit is going to happen. And so, yeah. And it didn't happen before because you weren't ready. Everything happens for a reason, and rejection is divine protection. Every single time. If you got rejected by a job, it was divine protection for you. That was not meant for you. That journey was not meant for you. Which was hard for me to say because I know how difficult the job market is nowadays, because like, I listen, girl, I know that like that is a really hard to say in this climate. Maybe that's not even the best example to give. Maybe we can talk more about relationships, because that is a very good example of like, if somebody didn't want you, it was protecting you. Like, you might have a crush on somebody or whatever, but you don't really know who that person is fully yet. Like, it takes years to know a person. Like, dude, like, I was with somebody for 4 years, and then all of a sudden they turned out to be somebody I did not know. Like, you just don't know a fucking person, dude, unless you just come out at the first date asking the hard-hitting questions. And that's what you got to do, honestly, to make sure that you're with somebody who has the right values. Like that TikTok that's like, I love gay people and migrants and gay people and migrants, and it's just like that's kind of how you gotta like test the waters with people sometimes nowadays, to make sure that people are like with the good side, on the right side of history. But yeah. Ending of this statement of the artist update of it all, is honoring the resting and beginning stages that are creating the big thing. That is why it's so important. These resting stages, the resting stages are the beginning stages. That's how you gotta look at it. When you're resting, that's just the beginning stages. You'll get there. Like, you will get there. It's just the beginning stages. You're just starting. That's how you gotta look at it. And, you know, that's why it's so important, because those little steps will create the big steps, and it'll like make sure that like the seed that you are planting is right, and it's the exact one that you want to be planting. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, just believe in the process. Trust the process. With anything that comes with art and in life, actually at all, with anything that comes in life, trust the process. You might hate what you're going through at the time, but you will turn out in the next era of your life at a completely different state, and so happy and rejoiced that you went through what you did so that you could be where you are. Because I know that like me 3 years ago would be like, I want to cry. Wait. wait, I don't know if this is the hormones or if it's just me, girl, but like, seriously, me 3 years ago would cry knowing where I am right now. Me 2 years ago would, like, knowing that like I'm starting to put myself out there online. Like, I've always wanted to do this, and I know it's like what everyone's doing, whatever, but it just feels like so freeing, and something that I've always wanted to pursue, and something that I'm really, really, really fucking passionate about. Like, it's like a new passion of mine, even though it's like been there forever. It's something I've always wanted to do and pursue. I just never had the time and space to be able to do that, and I'm just so grateful to be in this place and to have the fucking audacity, man. That's really what it comes down to. So thank you so much for supporting the podcast so far, because this is the 12th episode, and you know, usually people make sure that they have like a certain amount of followers on TikTok before they pursue YouTube or whatever. Like, but for me, it's just like long form content is kind of, it feels more me, so that's just where I like, it feels right to start there. And however it happens is how it happens, man. Like, I'm pursuing this because it helps my creativity, and it's almost like a creative journal that I can share with the world, and I hope that other people can resonate with it, because I know that like whatever I'm going through, other people can also feel that and are also going through that as well. So I think it's just important to share overall. Now we're gonna get into the pop culture pop-up. First thing is, gay marriage is so back. Except it never left. Well, it wasn't there back in, 2008, when it, wasn't legal, but it didn't get overturned, so gay marriage is so back, and actually never left. Thank God. Thank you to the lesbian goddesses out there, just keeping gay marriage here, because genuinely terrifying. terrifying world that we are living in, but I'm just so grateful that the gays can still get married, including myself. Not that I even really love the concept of marriage, but it is absolutely vital. Like, gender is a fucking construct anyways. Like, what are we doing? Like, literally, what are we doing? Like, you know how many intersex... I'm chipping all my words. You know how many intersex people are in the world? It's like the same amount as there are redheads in the world, mind you. So it's like the concept Cynthia Revo, the concept of saying that gay marriage can exist when like gender is a construct in and of itself is crazy, is wild, is scary. Like, literally, I'm gonna start spiraling, but gay marriage is so back, and I love that. Also, I don't know who to talk to this about, and honestly, like, I don't even know how to feel about it, but like, it's just one of those things that like you see as like a fangirl and you're like, whoa, 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 how is this happening? This is crazy. I feel like recently that's been happening a lot to me recently, because I'm I am really in love with the Not Loveline podcast with Tana and Trisha. I know how horrible they have been in the past, and I like it. It makes me feel so guilty, like, watching them and like supporting them. It does. I'm just gonna be completely transparent with like how I feel, like my relationship with this parasocial people that I don't fucking know. But it seems like for the most part they have learned and they have grown. I don't know, but I know what I know, and I also grew up on YouTube, and I just, again, I feel guilty for consuming it, but I am but a girl who likes Pink and likes Sheeta, and I think that they also, like, have taught me a lot through their own personal growth and everything, and the things that they have talked about on the Not Loveline podcast. Like, I don't really watch I don't really watch Just Trish as much. I have previously, but like it's just like, it's more like pop culture stuff, which I know I have a little pop culture segment in my podcast, but it's just like not always what I want to hear. Like, I like the Not Loveline podcast because they do talk about self-development, more things, and stuff of that nature, and just uplifting the girls and the gays. That's what I'm there for, seriously. Yeah, I don't know. I also just am like hoping and praying that like they really are good people and that I really am supporting the right people. It is tough because like watching them is just such a nostalgic thing for me. I think Tana's doing a lot better work with speaking about the food stamp crisis right now, and that being taken away from people, and putting out more resources about it and talking more about it, because I think like that honestly makes me want to cry. Like, just like, I'm just grateful that she is more tapped in and is sober now. That's another part of it too, because she wasn't sober for so long, that like now that she is, it's like she's really starting to realize like what is really important in life, and that makes me really happy to see. But the whole reason why I brought these people up is because Tana made a TikTok with Millie Bobby Brown. And I don't know if y'all know, but like when Millie Bobby Brown had the blonde hair, everybody was comparing the two because they looked so goddamn similar. And so, and also just like, how is like, it's like Tana is now like so brand safe with her like Tarte collaboration, and like, how did she even end up making a video with Millie Bobby Brown? I don't know why. It's just like, it's just, I don't, something about it is like not clicking in my brain. It just doesn't really feel real. Like, I'm very, very happy for her, and I'm very like, that's really cool, but it just, I don't know, it just feels like so random. Like, was she at the Stranger Things premiere? Like, what the fuck happened? Like, I guess the premiere hasn't happened yet because the fifth season isn't out yet, but like, I don't really know what's going on, dude. I don't fucking know. Like, I don't know. I love to see that people have grown and changed, though, because it's like, Tana has been on the internet for over a decade now, so I feel like it's like, I don't know, but like the track record with Brooke though too, and that being so recent, it's just like, I don't it's so, I just want to be completely transparent about like who I am and like who I consume, because like at the end of the day, like I am who I am. And honestly, dude, like I like watch some of these drama channels and they're like, I've said this before, I'll say it again, where they're just like, I don't like support this person, but I know everything about them. And they talk about everything about them. And it's just like, you're obsessed. Like, let's be so fucking for real about what's happening right now. Hate them or love them, you're obsessed. And you're giving them attention. And that's really the end of the game when it comes to social media, is attention. So it's just like, listen, I literally stopped, you know, watching Tana for years because of the Colin Berry and Vanessa. Completely like stopped listening to her and consuming her. And then I got swept back in about like maybe like 2 years ago or so, like watching her content again, and it's just like interesting to see the growth of it all. I really hope she's like being genuine with the things that she says that she cares about and all of that. Anywhoosies, we are going to get into the songs that I recommend for this time of year. Not even just songs, but different artists, mainly, honestly. So, like I was talking about, Mac DeMarco was mainly what I was listening to on that hike in the fall, like in the fall leaves and everything. I also really recommend during this time Girl in Red, Clock It, Ethel Cain, Clock It. Also, Autumn Leaves by Critter. I don't know if you listen to Critter. Love her music. Some of it is, well, no, I mostly love her music. But Autumn Leaves is really good. Like, it's really freaking good. And I'm just, like, obsessed. I'm really obsessed. And perfect for the autumn. Also, Freaks by Surf Curse. I'm pretty sure Freaks, like, that song is pretty popular. Like, I've heard it somewhere. I don't know if it was, like, a movie or commercial, or if it was, like, it's actually, like, a popular sound on TikTok. I'm not really sure, but Freaks by Surf Curse is also a good vibe for right now. I've also been listening to a lot of Warren Hue. Warren Hue is amazing. Like, one song I keep going back to is Okay Word by Warren Hue. He also has a song with Toby Lou called In My Bag. I love In My Bag. And I've talked about Warren Hue before on this podcast, but I'm really have been obsessed with his music recently. And an album that I have not listened to but I really want to is the Lily Allen album that she wrote after getting cheated on by the dude from Stranger Things, the cop. T. All I want to say is T. I used to listen to Lily Allen when I was really young, like her Fuck You song, and like, I don't know, girl, like, kind of obsessed. Like, I made some edits with that song when I was like 13, 14, but I really want to listen to her new stuff and see what she's been up to and just kind of like get more of the lore of like what's going on. Also, my fave, Youngblood, got nominated for a Grammy for his song Zombie, and I'm so proud of him, and I'm so obsessed, and I know he's gonna win it because, like, that song is everything. I will say, the intro of that song sounds a lot like I Don't Love You by My Chemical Romance. That's all I gotta say. I don't know, like, it's not exactly the same, but, like, it's giving the intro to I Don't Love You. And also the concept is giving Cancer by My Chemical Romance. Granted, his album is called Idols, and I know he takes a lot of inspiration from different idols of his, and that's literally the whole purpose of the album, is to commemorate, like, the different idols that he is inspired by within the rock genre. So that makes sense why it reminds me of My Chemical Romance, but still, just one of those things where I just, like, I noticed that and wanted to bring that up because, yes, I think it deserves a Grammy. Do I think it also is inspired by My Chem? Absolutely. And I want to hear more. The thing with Youngblood, too, I was just talking about this with my friend Ava, it's just, like, I love him and his music and everything. I did grow up more on band culture where, like, you know, the interviews would have the entire band included, and so you would hear all of the different perspectives. Where with Youngblood, it's like, I know that he works with other producers and everything, like, it's not just him, and so I feel like we don't get enough of the perspective from other people. That's what I would love to hear more of. personally, so that I could have like more of an idea of what's going on. But either way, obsessed with the music. I just want to know more. I want more, always. The consumers, they want more. What can I say? So speaking of like the Christmas season and that all coming back, I was just watching Dancing with the Stars, and we'll get into that a little bit. I was just watching Dancing with the Stars with my stepmom and my dad downstairs, literally right before I filmed this podcast. And there was a freaking ad for a Jonas Brothers Christmas movie. And I, what? A Jonas Brothers Christmas movie? I don't know. It just it's making me really happy, and I need it. I need it in my life, like, immediately. Like, like, I need it. I need it immediately. I need that. I just, like, I don't have any other words other than, like, I need that movie. I need to see it immediately. And like I just said, the consumers, we want more. What can I say? I need more entertainment in my life, apparently. As if I haven't, like, brain rotted myself enough with everything that I watch on the internet. I digress. Speaking of the internet, and it also freaking, like, intertwining with what's going on TV, is Alex Earl being on Dancing with the Stars. She ate that. They danced Dancing in the Rain, and she was in this, like, feathery dress. It was so pretty. I don't really watch Alex Earl, but I have seen her videos with, like, Tara Yummy and whatever. But, like, oh my god. Oh my god, it was beautiful. And I think she got a score of, like, 39, which the highest score you can have is 40, so she fucking ate. Did a beautiful job. For context, I grew up as a dancer. I know I just talked about a little bit, like, I danced before this. Like, I love dance so much. I don't really know ballroom dance as much, but I believe also when that specific dance too, I really loved, because when it comes to ballroom dance too, it's like you're dancing as a couple and it's cute, but they, like, broke off and were, like, doing their own thing and kind of, like, intertwining, and it was so gorgeous, because I feel like you don't see that enough when it comes to ballroom dance. You don't see the partners kind of break off and do their own thing at times. That's, like, the push and pull with ballroom dance is what I love to see more, and that was what was different in their performance versus everybody else's, is what I could tell. There was also another couple, I think it was Dylan Efron. I think that was his performance. I think. I might be wrong. I don't know. I might be mixing up the dances. But regardless, like, this one, the professional dancer, she ate. She was doing, like, flips and turns and things like I had never seen before. Her abs were insane. I'm, like, fucking inspired to, like, dance more, because, like, the dancer's body is everything. Like, the muscles on these girls, I'm, like, obsessed. Like, absolutely obsessed. And, like, the talent it takes to do that. Oh my god, she was also, like, held by, I believe, again, it was Dylan Efron, held by him, and she was, like, she was planking. She was planking, but she was being held up in the air, but she was planking in the air, and she was able to, like, move her feet, and she was so, like, still with it. Like, that, the amount of muscle that takes is just fucking insane. I think one of the first ones too, I don't remember the guy's name, but they did, like, a dance where they kind of looked like they were in the sand. That was really cool. I really thought that the sand was real. It was not. It was literally just a screen on the floor, and I was confused. But that part was really cool. I also loved, there was a cha-cha dance that this one couple did to a Sierra song, and that was really fun, because, like, more, like, pop culture themes within it, because a lot of the songs, there was, like, another one where they did, like, Puttin' on the Ritz, that song, Puttin' on the Ritz, or whatever, that one, where they do, like, more old school, like, Dancing in the Rain, like, you know, like, kind of like these old school songs, but to have, like, more of a recent pop culture icon, like a Sierra song, was so fun, and they ate that. And I think they didn't get a high enough score that I think they deserved a higher score. But honestly, like, the Dancing with Stars, like, this season was, like, going off. Like, I don't know, like, these people are really freaking talented. And the guy who did Puttin' on the Ritz, he was a comedian. He was, like, a lot older than everybody else, like, and he is still eating. And, like, it's just crazy. And like, yeah, they got like lesser scores or whatever, but it was like he gave more of like a theatrical performance because he is a comedian. Like, it was more like funny in the beginning, especially with like the feathers and like the top hat and everything. I don't know. I really recommend going to watch it. I don't. I didn't really go out of my way to watch it, but my stepmom was like putting it on, and I'm like, absolutely. Like, I love dancing. I love to see it. It was so good, and yeah. But I think that is everything that I have to say when it comes to pop culture pep up. That is all my little tidbits. I'm honestly really grateful I got to watch Dancing with the Stars too, because I added a lot to this, I think. That is all a girl has got to say on this podcast episode. I've been filming for over an hour now. This was a beautiful episode, and I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you gained something from it. And also, just to let you know about other things that I am doing and pursuing, and all of the things is on my YouTube channel, link it below. I'm doing October and November, so all of the episodes, I have a video coming out each week. Today I just posted a get ready with me that was like, I was just telling all these stories of me in abandoned houses, or like, not abandoned houses. I should do one of that though, but this was of haunted attractions, not abandoned houses. That's a whole nother story time I could go into. But so yeah, we're doing October and November, so all of the get ready with me's and stuff that I filmed in October of me getting ready for Halloween parties and all of that will be below. And I have 2 more videos coming out, and there will also probably be almost an hour long, just like this previous one was. Also, follow my Instagram at lunarlins with 3 Z's. You can kind of see what else I'm up to. Also, for the holidays, I'm working on a commission for my aunt, but I should have added this in my artist update, but that's okay. But I also am open to commissions for pet portraits, so I can do a little bit of a bigger one that is about, what is the size? 10 by 14? 10 by 14, that sounds more right. Yeah, it's a 10 by 14. That one is a more detailed pet portrait that I'd be doing for about $50, and if you want a smaller one, that would be about $18, and you can just message me on Lunar Lens, or even just below on this video if you want a pet portrait from me. That does not include shipping and handling. You know, it's a great Christmas gift you can give out to your friends and your family, so just let a girl know. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for more podcast episodes. I'll be putting these out every Wednesday. Subscribe, like, seriously, it helps me out a lot. It lets me know that you're watching and that you enjoyed it. Leave a comment. If you've gotten this far, babe, leave a little like pink heart or something below, because a girl loves pink over here. So yes, leave a pink heart below. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you had a beautiful November 11th with all of the 11/11 good energy portal vibes and manifesting all of the goodness for you. November is going to be your best month. Everything is going to work out as planned, and this is when everything will change for you, okay? So believe in that. Seriously, believe in yourself. Take care of yourself. You've got this, dude. So yes, anyways, again, thank you so much for watching. Support my Instagram page at Lunar Lins. You can follow Creatively Dreaming Pod so you can see clips and see when I upload. I do this every Wednesday, and I post on my YouTube page every Monday. This is also a YouTube page, but I post on my main channel every Monday, while this podcast I post every Wednesday. So yes, thank you so much, and go take care of yourself. I'm gonna go take care of myself and get the fuck to bed, or maybe doodle or something. I don't know. Anyways, much love. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!